And I know what you may be thinking. Oh yeah, well, we just talked about the 3 books. Might as well go to the 4th book. Nope. We ain't going there quite yet. Because instead, we're gonna talk about this novella. Because yes, as a connoisseur of Twilight nowadays, I gotta read this short little novella based on a small character in Eclipse. Because of course, there's another novella about a weird character that died in Eclipse. Now you might be wondering why I didn't mention Bree Tanner in my review of Eclipse. That's because she barely takes any recognition in anything whatsoever. She's barely in there. In fact, I just kind of noticed that she was more or less just one of the vampires that Victoria was using to take out Bella or whatever, but yeah, I guess she died, whatever. So, yeah, we're done there. But secondly, I also did not even know that I was supposed to be taking note of this character, because I had no idea that this novella existed until I was halfway through reading Eclipse. So, yeah, I was like, well, I gotta add that to the list because my OCD will not allow me to pass through without reading this thing. Thirdly, even though this is classified as a novella, it's over 220 pages. I would consider that a book, especially, since a lot of this crap takes place in this thing. So let's get started. Let's read the short second life of Bree Tanner. So first of all, you hear about Forks, Washington all this time. In the previous 3 books. Yeah. We're out of there. Okay, we're not in Forks, Washington anymore. We're in Seattle, baby, okay? We're home of the Seattle Space Needle and Frasier and nothing else. Because, yeah, and probably Starbucks. Yeah, Starbucks is also headquartered there. But nothing else except for Bree Taylor. Or Bree Tanner. Whoever the hell she is. I don't know. I am clearly losing my sanity based on these books. I guess, technically, this book... I guess Stephanie gravitated toward this character as opposed to any other character because apparently she gets in the head of Bella more often than not, and 2, she's one of the newborns, the one of the few new vampires that come out to take on Bella and all that. So yeah, there's drama there. There could be, if there was any. So apparently, through this book, we learn that newborns, when they are born newly, if you will, still has human blood still coursing in their veins. Not like old vampire blood. It's human blood. So they're very hyper intense here. Okay, they're high killing machines. Okay. They're out for blood, and they will do anything and everything. They are hyper-powered. Imagine Edward, but just coursing through his veins is just like he's high on the snow over here. Okay, he's so hyped up on the sugar. Now, okay, the beginning was actually the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in a very, very long time, okay? I needed something. I needed anything to grasp onto with these books because it has just been pain, torture, and downright depressing throughout these 3 gigantic novels that when it opened with I can't even 2 vampires talking about which superhero would be the best vampire. I almost lost it. But of course, the 2 that they're arguing here is Spider-Man, which was owned by Sony, so I don't even know how Stephanie Meyer's got the rights to use Spider-Man. in this book, and the Hulk, which is owned by Universal, so, and kind of Disney too. I don't know. How did she get the rights to these? So, in order to prove one of the vampires, in order to prove that the Hulk is the best superhero, he goes Hulk mad, Hulk smash on a car coming over here. And I'm sorry, is this fan fiction? Because this is just awesome. This is far and above the best thing I have ever read in any Twilight book of all time. Oh my gosh. But of course, we all know who is the best superhero, okay? It's Batman, okay? Listen, if he was transformed into a vampire, he's basically halfway there already. I mean, he would, honestly, obviously, he would be the best superhero. Okay, listen. Also, where's the DC rep? Where's the Image Comics rep, okay? You're gonna have Marvel here? Well, I mean, that's fine and dandy, but, I mean, Batman? Superman? Anybody? Listen, okay? What about, oh crap, who is that guy? Let me just look him up real fast. Spawn, okay? You tell me that Spawn, who is basically a vampire himself for the most part, you're not gonna say Spawn is the best one here? Okay, Blade, are you kidding me right now? What, hello? What? I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here. I haven't had a tangent for most of these summaries, but I gotta say, I gotta latch onto something, kind folks, okay? These books have been terrible. Whenever there's superhero talk, just let me have this. Let me have this. So apparently, I guess they're following this one guy who's saying everything, the rules under Victoria or whatever, but they're kind of doing their own thing. They're not really they're not really following this one guy. They're following this other guy named Raoul over here, okay? And after this Hulk smash incident, oh my gosh. Okay. So she follows Diego, who apparently is the older of the New Bloods and gets away with a lot of more things because he follows the rules almost to a T. And these rules are basically don't be seen, don't draw attention to yourself, and just find the victims that won't be missed, which is also I guess one of the things that they have to do in order to get more people, more new bloods, if you will. And apparently that's how they got a Bree over here. Okay, she was starving because she ran away from home or whatever, and the only thing she had to get to lure her into the vampiric virus here is a burger. Yeah, we're in that type of story now, okay? We open up with vampires, joking around about superheroes, and then all of a sudden this. What is this? But here's the thing, though. Through these 3 books, okay, we've explained basically the entirety of vampiric lore as, it is in this world. In this little book, we get basically the same thing, but, told in less than 100 pages, which I gotta say, yeah, it works a lot better here. Like, for instance, not all vampires apparently, have these specific powers, like mind reading and all that. A lot of vampires kind of get their own magic thing to do, They're kind of like mutants, I guess. So, yeah, there's another Marvel superhero reference there. Joy. Not in the book. It's not in the book, okay? That would be a little too gratifying for me, okay? But yeah, apparently, it makes them more valuable for quote-unquote her, because they don't know Victoria's actual name because she never shows herself to any of these people after they turn, kind of promoting herself to be like their omnipotent god, if you will, which is scary. And yeah, yeah, it adds a little bit more interest in all that. It was, I gotta say, okay, I'm on board. It's kind of interesting. And we get some more interesting little powers here. Like, for instance, Fred, the vampire Fred, woo, I gotta say, great name. He has this power where he can be physically repulsive to anybody. So, yeah, he just turns it on and off, where he's like, get out, and then he turns on the repulsiveness or whatever, and no one can really see him or hear him or anything like that. It's kind of interesting. And I gotta say, what is this? I'm actually, getting involved in a Twilight book? What's going on here? But yeah, there's a reason why they're called New Bloods. It's because, they're very really impulsive, if you will. Like they get really angry sometimes, and when they get really angry, Hulk smash. I'm sorry, I can't get over that. But anyway, yeah, they destroy things that probably shouldn't be destroyed. Like, for instance, they destroyed like a ton of hideouts, I guess, and they got to keep on moving because they keep on getting, angry and Hulk smashing everything. I'm sorry, I can't get over that. Which apparently this is an entire conversation between, Diego and Bree. So apparently they're kind of deciphering why were they created in the first place, which apparently they come to the conclusion that it's only for numbers and not for anything else. So yeah, there's that. And apparently some of the dialogue here is so bad, it's hilarious. I'm not going to really recite this here, but they use a lot of colorful language that isn't necessarily PC for today. And retrospectively looking at this is hilarious. To me, at least. If you got an issue with, bad words or whatever or something like that, I would suggest kind of refraining from this. But, yeah. Wow. Also, what's interesting is that apparently what they know is the complete opposite of what they should know that vampires, can or not do. Like, for instance, they gotta hide in darkness and avoid the sunlight because they truly think that they will burn up if the sun touches them, which we know that vampires sparkle. So, actually, this is pretty interesting. The reason why they're told this is to have them under further control. Okay. Why am I getting so hooked on this book? I'll get into it why, but I'm on board. Wow. Okay. It's also during this time that Diego and Bree decide, you know what? Well, let's try this out. Let's see a little bit, because apparently if you do indirect sunlight, nothing happens. So maybe something happens if you do direct sunlight. I don't know. So they do that, and lo and behold, no, they don't burn up. They're sparkly. Yeah, that happens. Which, yeah, I guess there was some involvement here, a little bit of transparency, a little bit more drama with this, but apparently nope. It's kind of we're done. It's over for this character. Okay. But then lo and behold, nope, we're back into the drama because we gotta keep this hidden. We gotta keep this secret because, yeah, the guy that turned me, Diego, is I don't know. I trust him, but I mean, what the heck, what's up with this? Why can't I die in the sun? That type of thing. So yeah, this is kind of an interesting conflict here, which I gotta say, wow, I can't believe I'm actually this into a Twilight book. But I'm this into a Twilight book. Is my life a lie? Is this PTSD or something? Is this, what? Is this the thing that Belle has in Beauty and the Beast? What? Huh? Stockholm Syndrome? What? What am I? But then, of course, it's all sucked up with this romance between Diego and Bree, because of course there has to be. But, to be fair, it's not toxic like Bella and Edward. Is it unneeded? Absolutely. But it's not toxic. I can't believe that's the standard we have with these books, but there we are. At least it's not toxic. Dun, 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 dun. But then, we see Diego and Bree, stalking Riley, who is apparently the vampire that, turned Diego and all that. And apparently he and Victoria get together or something, and then they kiss, and then they're all like, what? Ew, gross. Which I don't really know why that's gross. I mean, you literally just did that before, but whatever. Anyway. And apparently it's during this moment where we find out that she's more of a petty little child than previously realized. Because, yeah, she has a lot of fits. And they aren't good. Again, this is fan fiction, but really not. And if you want to know why Victoria hasn't had any connection with the Cullens yet, because, there was this one person that can see the future or whatever, it's because she doesn't have a plan. She doesn't have a war plan. Because seeing the future is all about, the decisions that people make so that it can change. So yeah, the reason why the Cullens can't see into the future is because Victoria has no plan. Okay. Also, you might be wondering, well, the Volturi, they don't want any new vampires, so why is she getting away with this? Well, that's because they hate the Cullens so much that they're going to give the Victoria 5 days to figure it out. And after the 5 days, then they'll, attack her with all that she's worth if she's unsuccessful. Okay. This book was missing bullcrap. I'm glad it's here because the story felt naked for a second. Now, there's some other stuff that goes on. Diego's like, hey, hang on to Fred for a bit and, keep away from his scent and all that. So, yeah, so I can confront Riley and all that. But Bree is like, hey, listen, we can get out of here. We don't have to be with these idiots. We can, be free and not attached to anybody. But yeah, then Riley comes in without Diego, and it's written in such a way where we kind of think, oh yeah, so Diego's dead. But, Riley has to convince Bree that, yes, he's still alive, but if you want to see him, you gotta do exactly as I say, basically. And she's basically like, okay, fine. But then, I guess Riley finally tells everybody what the plan is. So the plan is to sniff, Bella's clothes, and yeah, whoever can get her the first can have her all to themselves. And Bree's like, so you got all these older vampires and all that. You just want us to focus on this human. What? But apparently, according to this lie here, they say that the sun is angled in just the right way, where it won't hurt you, and you can go do your thing and fight this war during this particular point of the day, because of the sun's angle and all that stuff. Okay. So yeah, apparently, Bree and Fred, see the bull crap in this situation, so Fred decides to, pull out all the stops and become so repulsive to Riley that they essentially become invisible. But, Bree wants, Diego. So, yeah, there's got to be conflict here. Which, yeah, after all this, it kind of plays out exactly how it plays out in Eclipse, except from Bree's perspective. So there's that, where, they fight the war and all that. Bree has to do this because you gotta find Diego, but she can't find Diego. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe it's because, they did the torture that they were going to do to anybody that backs out of this fight and all that. So there's that. Anyway, she sees Bella and she's all like, what the heck? Why is she, why can I hold myself against her? Why all this stuff? Why is she not fearful of me? This is very bizarre. And then, the shapeshifters, aka werewolves, come around and they're all like, yeah, destroying them and all that. And, the coven, falls down. The Ventari come over and kind of do away with the loose ends, including Bree. And at the end, Bree gives a little thing to Edward saying, if you see Diego, please save him and all that. So, yeah, there's that, I guess. So, here's the thing about this. It's actually not that bad. I was actually pretty surprised. Get it out of the whole Bella and Edward garbage, and it's actually a fairly basic story. And being basic is literally being the Citizen Kane of this entire franchise. There are some things that are just so unadulterated bullcrap, like the whole superhero discussion at the beginning, that I was just like, oh, it's going to be one of those stories. I don't care what happens in the rest of the story, but I'm here for this. There is literally so much bullcrap that is absolutely hilarious, but also some actual good in this story. Like, there's more good in this story than there was in the other 3 huge ass novels that I had to read for this videos. Okay, this is the best Twilight book, and not only that, it's mercifully short. I cannot believe, all this crap. Okay, crap that took like 3 gigantic novels for me to get out of Stephanie Meyer was all explained in like a little over 200 pages. Wow. There were some things that were kind of tense. There were some things that were kind of spooky. I gotta say, wow. I didn't think Stephanie Meyer was considered to be, a necessarily good writer, but she shines above and beyond what, these other books were, okay? As far as I can see, there's not a whole lot of, racist crap. There's not a lot of, weird, stupid garbage. I mean, there's some romantic, stupid garbage, but it's like, tolerable and not, it could affect people's minds to the worst degree possible. Like, what? Yeah, it's stupid, but it's actually tolerable. And actually, if my kids were to read this, I wouldn't really mind. Now, I gotta say, there are a few stains in this book. Like, for instance, when they actually do try to tie it back to the overarching story, it gets a little stupid. But, that being said, it doesn't come until, like, the last third of the book. Which I gotta say, the last third of the book was kind of the worst part, but it still was kind of tolerable. It was kind of tragic, but also, the characters were kind of stupid for the sake of, trying to fit into what Stephanie Meyer already wrote in Eclipse. So, you kind of knew that going into this prequel, especially a prequel for Twilight. But again, there are things that are just so stupid that they are hilarious, and some things that are genuinely good within this story. So I gotta say, without a doubt, this is on top. Okay, we got number 1. It doesn't even edge it out. Okay, it's not even close. Okay, there are not necessarily, planets, but there are like countries in between these things. Okay, it's that good. Okay, far and beyond what the first Twilight book was. And dare I say it, I cannot believe I'm saying this. Maybe I am in Stockholm Syndrome with these books. I don't know. but I would recommend it, okay? Just for the sake of pure insanity. If you are a fan of pure insanity when it comes to books and, somewhat good storytelling, but just an overarching just bullcrap with like Hulk smash, this is a fun ride, let me tell you.